Let's do some NBA trivia. Who won the 2023 NBA Finals? Congratulations, you are correct. It was the Denver Nuggets. Let's try another one. Who was the first ever NBA Defensive Player of the Year? Ronnie Turioff was a good guess. It was Sidney Moncrief of the Milwaukee Bucks. Alright, for our grand finale, who won the 2015 Summer League MVP? Shit, do I even know that one? NBA Summer League. A staple of the NBA offseason and the only time of year where the phrase, "Screw you 27-year-old G League player, give my new rookie the ball," is heard in households all across America. I'm just kidding. While many people just watch Summer League to see a few big rookies, the event as a whole has amazing vibes. Each year, the most dedicated of basketball fans come together to celebrate some good offseason hoops, along with the NBA veterans who act like the varsity kids cheering on the JV team. NBA teams participated in summer leagues as early as 1976 at the California Summer Pro League, and they gained popularity over the next few decades. What was once a completely optional summer practice league turned into a nationally televised league-wide movement that became an opportunity for some of the most unproven talent in the NBA to show what they're capable of, and for some, earn a spot in the league. These summer leagues were spread all across America: California, Salt Lake City, Boston, Orlando, and most recently Las Vegas. Since 2018, the Vegas League has participation from all 30 NBA teams, with the other leagues being side events prior to the main show. It makes too much sense for this to be in Vegas. Of course, the NBA implies support for gambling with all the ads that run during their games, but with Summer League, they want this to be a 3-course meal. Bet the house on blackjack, watch Darius Baisley drop 16 and 5, bet the car on slots. The Summer League has become the grand finale to the rapid-fire NBA offseason, but what exactly goes on in these games? Let's start with the most watched Summer League game of all time, Pelicans vs. Knicks, July 5th, 2019. All these people were tuning in to see the debut of #1 pick Zion Williamson. Let's see how he did. Okay, well the Pelicans won, that's expected, and some guy on their team had 30 points, that's gotta be Zion. Frank Jackson. Frank Jackson with the 30 ball. Frank Jackson, everyone. Zion only had 11, but let's be fair here. He only played 9 minutes. A Google search tells me he got injured mid-game, and that there was an earthquake that stopped the game. What the fuck? Alright, Zion got injured. He would have dominated. He doesn't count. Surely these hyped rookies dominate every other game, right? The second most viewed Summer League game ever is Spurs Hornets from July 7th, 2023. Victor Wembanyama's debut game. The best prospect since LeBron. Surely he dominated Summer League. I mean, he was nearly an all-star his first season. You're trying to tell me he can't beat up a couple of G League... What? If you can't tell, there's something up with the Summer League. It's no secret that 90% of people are tuning in to see the rookies who just got drafted, but the best players in the Summer League aren't always the best players in the draft. Don't believe me? This list begs the question, what makes Summer League different from any other NBA game? How does one become a demon in the summer? Body count for sure, beer plus minus, shotgun. Not that kind. Well, first, the basketball being played in Summer League is fundamentally different from the normal NBA game. Because these teams have such little time to prepare and the players don't have a lot of chemistry, teams favor isolation and simple basketball in Summer League rather than elaborate offensive sets. This makes the most sense, as Summer League is more about development than actually winning it, but it allows certain player archetypes to thrive in the Summer League. There's also a unique incentive to play hero ball. These games don't mean dick. Of course you don't want to look like a shot chucker, but these guys are hungry for NBA roster spots. They're gonna try and get noticed, even if it comes at the detriment of the team sometimes. Think of it like a basketball recruiting camp. Even though the coaches swore in their little introductory spiel that if you dove on the floor 12 times, you're guaranteed to get a scholarship, you gotta play for yourself a little. Take some tough shots. Get hot out there. And trust me, a lot of becoming a Summer League legend is just getting hot. There's also a coaching factor that could explain why many big first-round picks don't do as well as you'd expect. They want these guys to get out of their comfort zone, so they'll have a 3-and-D wing try to play point guard or an inside center shooting 5 threes a game. The non-NBA players on these Summer League teams don't have these responsibilities, so they can just go wild and play as well as they can. So with Summer League's biggest quirk works all sorted out, let's take a look at some of the most iconic Summer League stars since 2004 and eventually try to explain how this shit happened. When I mentioned that certain playstyles are built to succeed in the unstructured freestyle basketball that Summer League is, one clear example comes to mind. The tough shot taken, 6 man of the year collecting, bring your own ball next time cause I'm shooting the rock, right side of this meme attracting because fuck efficiency when you can get tough 19-foot midi pulls at will, certified bucket getters. Because why wouldn't these guys dominate in Summer League? I think Cam Thomas is the funniest example of this. Going into his rookie year in 2021, he won co-MVP honors in Vegas with a hilarious 27-2-2 stat line. He came back for seconds though. Cam played going into his sophomore season and put up basically the same stat line again, except double the assists this time. He won Summer League MVP last year. Did you guys really think he needed to do this again? To be fair, the Nets clearly didn't trust Cam Thomas with shit his first 2 years. This dude dropped 43 times in a row and almost immediately went back to getting 0 burn. Cam might have fit this bill more than anyone, but he's a mere acolyte of the entire generation of these guys that preceded him. J.R. Smith, Lou Williams, Michael Beasley, Kevin Martin, all bucket getters of the 2000s and 2010s, all did their thing in Summer League. Kevin Martin played 39.2 minutes per game in the 2005 Summer League. Summer League games are 40 minutes. This dude was putting up Wilt type minutes in the Summer League. King said, "F taking a look at these bums on the bench. We need to leave Vegas as champions of 2005. Moral champions of 2005. Another Summer League demon who fits this bill is Randy Foye. Checks all the boxes. He won MVP. He averaged 25 and just 2 assists. Only 10% of his shots were threes. This guy played the 2000s inside the arc bucket getter role to a T for about a week. Yeah, Randy Foye's summer stat line fits right in with these guys, but unlike those guys, he wasn't this type of player in the NBA. Now, Foye did start his career as more of an on-ball guy, but he found the most success settling into a 3-point specialist role. I find it pretty cool to see you guys playing different roles in the Summer League than what we know them for. Like Josh Hart and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, good players no doubt, but probably the last guys you'd expect to be putting up high volume scoring numbers as they did in Summer League. Or like Aaron Gordon, great player, but 22 and 12? Cosplaying as Jamal Crawford is certainly the best method to succeeding in the Summer League, but sometimes all you need is a strap. Look at Keegan Murray, good player, but not really seen as a self-shot creator. He won Summer League MVP a few years back because he averaged an efficient 23 a game. 60% of those shots were threes. Max Strus, Sam Merrill, Peyton Pritchard, all guys you really wouldn't expect to have a big impact in Summer League, all made an impact because they just shot the hell out of the ball. I hate to boil it down to this, but if you're shooting that many threes, you really just need a 1-week hot streak to get Summer League legend status. But sometimes they shoot so well that you just can't in good faith chalk it up to a low sample size. Anthony Morrow shot 61% from 3 over 15 career Summer League games. If anyone ever shot that well 15 games into an NBA season, we'd be putting them in some ridiculous conversations. I chalk this up to undrafted Anthony Morrow shooting out of his goddamn mind to try and make a roster for his rookie season, a type of pressure we don't see in regular season NBA games. And it worked. Morrow had a long career. Morrow might also be the best Summer League performer who switched teams mid-Summer League. He played with Miami and Golden State amidst this 12-game legendary run in 2008. Add in a second summer where he set the scoring record and shot 60, 50, 100 splits, and yeah, we might have the Summer League GOAT on our hands. Curry's another shooter that dominated Summer League. Seth Curry, that is. You'd expect him to be a part of the absolute strap club, but no. He barely shot threes in this Summer League, and when he did, he didn't even make them. Seth Curry joins the clubs of guys that weren't expecting to be bucket getters, and damn, yeah, he's getting after it in these highlights, honestly playing like the complete inverse of his brother. Speaking of old Steph, he's kind of the opposite of this phenomenon with Summer League shooters. Best shooter of all time, but you shoot badly for a week and end up on every "these guys sucked in Summer League and became stars" list. It's like making a think piece about his 2020 season where he played 5 games and shot 25% from 3. Like guys, he played 5 games in Vegas and missed a lot. It happens. You want to talk about missing a lot in Summer League? Trae Young. He played in the preliminary Salt Lake City League prior to his rookie season, and in 3 games he averaged 14 points on 23, 13, 65 splits. I shouldn't need to say this by this point, but this is your evidence that Summer League truly has no bearing on someone's future success.
Most of the players we've talked about elevated their game in the summertime and were able to reach varying levels of Summer League stardom. But they were still good players in the NBA. We can dig deeper though. There are guys out there who are the Summer League. They built their legacy in Vegas.
Obviously, we know that certain types of NBA players have a higher chance of dominating the Summer League than others. But how do guys who were barely in the league dominate in the summer? I'm gonna use a baseball analogy to explain this. These types of guys get labeled as quadruple-A players because they're clearly a step above everybody in baseball's triple-A level and can dominate consistently, but possess certain flaws that hold them back from any success in the majors. A good basketball example of this is Jordan McRae, your typical bucket getter type, but not quite as good, so he was more of a G League superstar than an NBA rotation player like his peers. But in the Summer League, this guy rocked. 20 points a night on 35-27 splits over 3 different Summer Leagues. Sign me up. Or how about Kevin Knox, a much bigger name than Jordan McRae, not sure for the right reasons, but similar circumstances to him. Couldn't ever score good enough in the NBA to have a consistent spot, but could put up some grossly inefficient buckets in the summertime, no doubt. Kevin Knox put on the greatest draft fit of all time, and then dominated the Summer League. Knicks fans, if you bought a Kevin Knox jersey after this, I really wouldn't blame you. You know, I think we can dig deeper than this. Meet Josh Selby, the 2012 Summer League co-MVP. 24 points a game on 56, 64, 89 splits. Yeah, this guy, Steph Curry reincarnated, yeah, he just wasn't an NBA player. His rookie year, he appeared in 28 games, averaging 2 and 1, which somehow earned him Rookie of the Year votes. What? The stat I want you to focus on from his NBA career is that he shot 3 for 21 on threes. For this special week in Vegas, he shot 27 for 42. How he shot that well, I do not know, but again, sometimes it just happens. Oh, and to really hammer this one home, he played the next year of Summer League, now with the Lakers, and averaged 2 points a game on 15% shooting. Lakers fans, I usually don't believe y'all when you say everyone turns to shit when they come to LA, but I'll hear you out on this one, no doubt. Going toe-to-toe with Josh Selby for the craziest Summer League Linsanity run is Glenn Rice Jr. Like Selby, this guy just wasn't really an NBA player. Following his rookie season, where he spent most of the time in the G League, Rice turned up for a week in the 2014 Summer League, averaging 25 and 8 on great efficiency and taking home MVP honors just like Selby. After this guy tricked Wizards fans into thinking he was going to be a star, I now actively root against every Wizards first round draft pick in the Summer League. That's right, I was happy when Alex Sarr went 0 for 15 in Summer League. I definitely wasn't concerned at all. These two goofballs had some solid run in the G League, but ultimately made their careers overseas. The Summer League brings out a hidden talent in players, that being scoring on weaker competition, even when the players who possess that talent are borderline NBA players themselves. But sometimes the best players in the Summer League are the guys who are just too good to be there. Now, teams differ in who they send to Summer League and who they don't, but generally all rookies will go there, a good amount of second year guys will be there, and if you're in the Summer League third year and beyond, you're probably clawing for a spot in the league. The variance team to team in who plays and who doesn't can cause for a lot of dudes to simply look too good for Summer League. Remember how I mentioned that Keegan Murray dominated the 22 Summer League and won MVP? Yeah, so after a rookie season where he started every game for the Kings, who were a playoff team, broke the rookie 3-point records in a season, made all rookie first team, he came back to Summer League and averaged 35 for 2 games. Obviously, he wasn't a finished product, but come on, Sacramento, was this really necessary? Or how about this one? Kawhi Leonard playing in the Summer League the season after being a starter on a finals contending team. I can't really bash this decision, as Kawhi was nowhere near the player he eventually developed into. But the fact that Kawhi played in Summer League less than a year before giving LeBron fits in the NBA Finals is pretty hilarious to me. These guys were second-year players though. They were effective rookies, but they were not at all done developing and could have benefited from the extra reps. They proved to be too good, but it made sense at the time. J.R. Smith playing Summer League going into his 7th season, Yeah, I got nothing. JR did this, quote, for the love of the game. But dudes don't always find Summer League as a fun week of hoops. They take it as disrespect. Marcus Banks had a decent time in the league. 8-year NBA career, had some good seasons, some bad seasons, never really stuck around anywhere. The 2007 season was the worst of his 4-year career to that point, averaging career lows in minutes and games played. The Phoenix Suns decided that Marcus, going into his 5th year and being a player who would average a solid 10-4 for an entire season, would play in the Summer League. Now, I couldn't find any interviews on his thoughts on this decision. I don't know what was in his head when he heard this news, or if this was even his team's decision at all. Let's assume the worst and say the Phoenix Suns forced Marcus to play Summer League. All we can do now is look at the stats and speculate what he thought. Show me what you got, Marcus. Marcus Banks was fucking pissed to be playing Summer League. This goes beyond a random hot streak. This is the result of a man who knew he wasn't supposed to be out there with the little guys and did all that he could and more to make that abundantly clear. I love how this is the only game he played too. Like, the Suns trotted a 5-year vet out there. He breaks the Summer League scoring record because he knew he was better than that, and they were like, all right, Marcus, we get it. We made a mistake. You're good. You're a legend, Marcus Banks.
This is great. Going over the Summer League legends that time forgot. Going into rabbit holes that are largely left untouched to this day. To be fair, I am speaking for myself though. Maybe there are a few families who talk about Glenn Rice Jr. at their dinner table. We'll never know. But there's something I noticed about this list of guys so far. Why are they all so short?
Another quirk of the Summer League is that big men rarely get to shine. It's a byproduct of all the game style changes we've already gone over. When guard isolation and perimeter sets are the heavy bulk of the offense, even the most talented of big men are going to be left to do the dirty work. That's not to say big men don't make an impact on Summer League, but they rarely get much love since they usually don't put up big numbers. Even the recent top picks who were big men really haven't done much better. Like, all these guys' stats were better in the actual NBA than Summer League their rookie seasons. But there are a few exceptions to this rule, and like we did with the guards, we can try and see why. First, there's the post-up bigs. These guys are a dying breed in the NBA, but best believe the post game can be effective in Summer League if they get the touches. Jonas Valanciunas winning Summer League MVP seems like it'd be a bit surprising, but like, come on, look at this guy. Who's stopping him in Summer League? Brook Lopez and Roy Hibbert are two more guys cut from the same cloth who just bullied their way to Summer League dominance. And then you got your quadruple-A big men types, namely Kenny Lofton Jr. He can't play in the NBA because he's an undersized center who can't play defense, but he's genuinely really skilled as an offensive hub and can use his body to bully people inside along with some playmaking feel. Kenny Lofton is the Jordan McRae of Zach Randolph's, no further explanation needed. The late Caleb Swanigan also took this path to Summer League dominance. Great in college, great in Summer League, but just didn't have the tools to stick around in the NBA. On the inverse of the bully ball centers, these three goofballs from the late 2000s all put up monster stat lines in Summer League. Andre Blatch, Dante Green, and Anthony Randolph. I can't speak for the other two, but with Blatch, I don't use the term goofball lightly. Look at this video from 2010 of him trying so hard to get a 10th rebound for a triple-double. It's honestly a work of art. This guy was destined for Summer League stardom by way of nothing else but being a true stat patter at heart. I think these guys succeeded more in Summer League than their traditional big counterparts because although they weren't the most successful of NBA players, they had the on-ball creation juice that most bigs lacked. All three were touted as mid-range creators and were more like knockoff KDs than traditional centers. Yeah, so bigs playing in Summer League, I'd probably just try to find a way to shrink yourself, or if that doesn't work, just watch some Christian Wood film. That dude can get a bucket. Oh, I almost forgot. The Summer League players who, were actually good. Looking back at the MVP chart, we can see that most weren't top draft picks. Why is this? Well, as I said before, sometimes teams want their top draft picks to expand their horizons in the Summer League at the expense of their overall performance, and other times they're just shut down after a couple games. Boo. This is lame, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a pretty valid preventative measure. Imagine if Wemby tore his Achilles in Summer League. We'd have Adam Silver ordering nukes to the UNLV Thomas and Mack Center to cleanse the Las Vegas public of the devil magic that just occurred. And then they'd replace Summer League with a 2K simulation for the next 5 seasons. But a few guys did defy the trend of stars being underwhelming in Summer League, most notably Blake Griffin, John Wall, and Damian Lillard. all won MVP in back-to-back-to-back seasons in Vegas. What set them apart? Well, these guys all had skills that we know by now can seriously lead to Summer League dominance. Griffin was like the on-ball forwards I mentioned earlier, Wall had lightning speed and great playmaking, and Dame was like the 99th percentile outcome of the pure bucket getter archetype. It's really no surprise that these guys were good in Summer League when you think about it. These guys alongside Valanciunas and Keegan Murray were the only top 6 picks to ever win Vegas Summer League MVP. Okay, LeVar, calm down, I'll talk about him. The Ball brothers' run in 2016 and 2017 really will never be topped. They had a chokehold on the basketball world. Lonzo was the talk of the town when he was drafted 2nd overall in 2017, and of course he kept this momentum into the Summer League. Lonzo, who easily fills up the stat sheet and has that natural playmaking kick, was a good candidate for being a Summer League star. And he did exactly that. Averaging 16, 8, and 9, Lonzo took Summer League by storm. I vividly remember watching Chris Smooth highlight recaps for every Lonzo Ball Summer League game. You just had to be there to understand the hype these guys had. It was unbelievable. Something about these Ball brothers in Summer League, man. Even LiAngelo had a solid outing in Vegas. It's a total shame that LaMelo's got canceled because of COVID, because we would have been treated to some of the most beautifully unserious basketball ever played. Lonzo and the rest of these guys weren't the only top picks to do well in Summer League, of course, but they represent the cohort of summer demons who we're just good at basketball. A list that surprisingly, or maybe unsurprisingly at this point, just isn't that big.
And that's how you become a Summer League legend. Don't be good at basketball. I'm just joking. Everyone knows the whole Summer League doesn't matter and that it doesn't define your career, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about it. Doesn't mean we shouldn't analyze what makes certain players good in the Summer League rather than treating it like some random crapshoot. I hope this can become a time capsule for the Summer League legends of the past and becomes a guide on why certain players can dominate the Summer League. Oh, and I couldn't have done this without realgm.com. Seriously, they got like every basketball game ever played documented on there. There's an endless void of Summer League stats and seasons that you'll never get to the end of. Don't believe me? Let's play an old game.
Who was the best Summer League player who was the brother of another NBA player?
We talked about this one, come on. Seth Curry is a good guess. That might be the right answer, but I mean, Tyus Jones was a brother and he won NBA Summer League MVP. And then Jabari Smith, well, he was cousins with Kwame Brown. He averaged 35.5 one year. And don't even get me started on Anthony Randolph. I mean, he's got to be related to Zach, right?